Hey guys, it's me, Pinky of Pinky Knows Naples, and today on this very special edition of Pinky Knows Naples, this is a new year, new you in Naples, and I wanted to introduce you to some new ways of thinking about businesses and how they can help you around this gorgeous town that we live in. So today, these are my new friends, the Upbeat K9s. Upbeat K9. So Paige, say hi.
Hi.
And that's Tony over there.
Hello.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. They've been doing this, well, Paige has been doing it almost a decade, and Tony, you've been doing it since basically birth.
Well, pretty much all my life around dogs, training dogs, working with dogs, so yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dog guy, big dog guy. Hey Alyssa, how are you up there in Tampa? How goes it? And introduce our furry friends, please.
We have Miss Luna over here. She's 9
Hi,
months old,
Luna.
border collie, and we have Baxter. He is the Belgian Malinois.
He's a what?
Belgian Malinois.
I can't even say it. Belgian Malin,
yeah.
Malinois?
Malinois.
Okay, so what kind of dog, what does that mean? I mean, like, where are they from? Belgium?
They're actually Belgians, from Belgium, and
Wow.
they're very similar to a German Shepherd.
I mean, that's what I kind of thought. It was a mix of a
Yeah.
German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you guys see him? Can you guys see him okay? I mean, aren't they gorgeous?
There he is.
All right, so we're inviting you guys to bring out any kind of dog training questions you might have while we're talking today. But a little bit about what these guys do that is so special and unique. Thank you for the thumbs up. Love it. Keep it coming. Give me your questions about what to do with your doggy problems. And Paige, tell us a little bit about what you guys do at your facility, because they do actually have a storefront facility, which is in Bonita Springs, not too far away. So people can come in and actually do your traditional training classes, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So at the facility, we work more on distractions. We have a controlled environment, so we're able to get more things done, and also give the chance for the dog to work outside of its own element. So sometimes dogs are very uncomfortable being out of their home, and then we help brighten them up, get them more confident and well-mannered.
All right, so that's what you can do at the facility. So they have classes. Hey, Bill Hudson, how are you? And you have classes like what, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week?
It depends on the dog. We do a lot of
So you can
training
do
one-on-one.
individual
Yeah.
training.
Usually the way that we start, we do a free evaluation with the client and their dog to figure out what's the best option for them.
Okay.
And then from there, we put together a program that works for the dog and the owner.
Okay, great. So one of the things that they do is that they do come out to your house, which is where we are. We're at Pinky's house today, and I have 3 acres, and my dog is actually in the house because we wanted to show some really well-behaved dogs. Lily's okay, but I didn't want her to...
Lily's good.
Yeah, she's a good girl, but she can be a little havoc if there's a lot of other dogs around.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show that they come out to your home. So if you have like some sort of issue maybe at your house that, what were we discussing? We were saying like sometimes there can be home issues, so to speak, like when people have problems.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we see everything from fearfulness or from housebreaking or from chewing on the furniture, whatever it is, we kind of go out there and figure out what's the best option for those people.
Okay. One of the things, like if you can see Baxter, I think he... Show Baxter the voice collar around his neck.
Yeah, so Baxter has a remote collar that he wears.
Uh-oh, Baxter's causing chaos.
The main thing about training is that we teach our clients how to communicate better with their dogs. So the dogs know when they're doing things right and when they're doing things wrong. So if they know when they're doing things right, then we really reward that, and they stop doing the things that we don't want them to do. So,
Right. When I went through dog training a little bit with Lily, that was one of the things, because, my father, having had dogs all his life, it was always like, being mean, not being mean, but, the negativity actions were always like, bad dog, like very, almost, you don't want to say, I don't know how I'm saying this without saying it incorrectly, but, just instead it's positive reinforcement.
Exactly. The dog has to know what's expected, and we have to teach the dog that language, and we have to be able to communicate with that dog. So that's what we do. We first start establishing that a way so that we can tell the dog exactly when they're doing what we want and what we're doing when they're not doing what we want. And once we have that established, then we just simply add that to all the cues that we want them to do, like down, down, stand, sit. So all these verbal cues that we're working on, we help our clients communicate better with their dogs.
Rachel says hi, Paige.
Hi, Rachel.
She's tuning in. So this is Morgan. What's going on? Morgan had a question. She has a dog, and her dog is probably about the size of Baxter, Roy, right? Roy. And Roy, they can't break him of when people come into the house. Always jumping up. She's tried the ignoring.
Yeah.
She's tried. So what would be maybe a good quick tip that positive reinforcement might work in that situation?
Well, like we're doing here with our dogs, like place, that's a great option.
Place.
Place means go to a spot and stay. So if we tell Pastor place just means go there and stay. It's a boundary that we teach them. Back to place. Then once they have that down, then once they have that boundary understood, right?
You see that,
then
guys?
all the jumping, all that stuff that they're normally doing kind of goes away because they're concentrating on staying there and not necessarily jumping. Then, once everything kind of settles in, then you can release them off there. You're free. And then they can go say hi to your guests and whatnot.
Okay, so you want to make a boundary for them. Baxter is happy right now. That is right. Baxter's getting the show.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I thought was really cool is, when you think of a place, you kind of think, oh, well, maybe their bed is their place, which is a good place to be. But, even outside, I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you can show them. Show them how a place can be a tree stump, in fact. Ready? Let's move this over here a little bit. Actually, I'm just around so you guys can see. All right, see? And look at that. That's Ms. Luna up there, just sitting pretty.
Yes.
And she stays. And that's also for their comfort, that they know that that's their comfort place,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Even if you have dogs that have some kind of fear, it helps them with their fear. Because let's say that the dog is nervous against another dog or person. So if we give them that to go to, they feel more confident, comfortable because they're paying attention, staying there. The object that they're afraid of is still there, and they learn to accept that object, and they overcome the fear.
There you go, there you go. And one of the tips that we were talking about, because we were doing this on Snapchat, show them what you're using.
I'm using kibble, so this is her food that I feed to her, and what I do is, so this is like her breakfast or her lunch, and then I'm able to get the reps in that she needs, and then I'm not overfeeding her.
And then you're not overfeeding. So you don't have to go out and buy expensive dog training treats.
Yeah.
Just use what they're comfortable
if
with.
they're very motivated by their kibble, then that's the best thing to use.
Okay, awesome. And it's also more affordable that way too, I think. Then you're not overdoing their calories and overdoing their budget too, because sometimes, you can be on a budget when it comes to training. So when you said repetition, how often should you be training, when actively training, like place? Like let's say Morgan wants to work on that. So what would be a good amount of repetition for that?
You want to train as you live. So, if you're going to get set up to cook breakfast, work on place while you cook breakfast. It's teaching them to make good habits. From there, it's 5 to 10 minutes, on every hour, here and there. Just train as you live. It depends on what you want to see and how fast you want your results.
Okay.
So the more you train, the faster you'll get results. But if you're going to slack, it's going to take a little longer, but you will get there.
And also realize you're always training your dog. If your dog is with you, you're always training it. It's either training what you like or what the dog likes.
Right.
So you're always working and training with your dog. We don't want a dog that ever really jumps on people, so we never really allow that. Or we want a dog that doesn't pull on a leash, so we don't want that. Or gets on the furniture if that's something we don't want, or chews on things. So we're always training. It's happening all the time. The dog's either training us or we're training the dog.
Okay, so, and that kind of brings up a point, because sometimes people think like, oh, if I started a puppy, then obviously that's the perfect place to start. But what if your dog's 4 years old? Are they still too old to learn new tricks?
No, that's a wise tale. You can teach an old dog new tricks. So we do it all the time. We have a 7-year-old with us now. We train 13-year-old dogs, so it doesn't matter.
So you can break those bad habits.
Absolutely. Baxter's 9. He just turned 9, or actually he's 8. He just turned 8. And I teach them new stuff all the time. So we're always teaching and learning. They're like sponges. They want to learn. They want to do good. We just have to communicate properly with them and reward them when they do what we like. That's dog training.
Right. So if you were looking to adopt a dog from the Humane Society, which is always a positive thing to do, sometimes those dogs are older. So, maybe they have some issues because they haven't been in a permanent home. It's okay. You can come to you, and you guys would be more than happy to give them a class on how to adjust.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. No matter what the age issue, we'll be there to help.
Okay. And like I said, you guys come out to the home, which is a really cool thing. Hey, Lori, up there. I think you're in cold weather up there in Lori. No, I'm like, we're outside. It's gorgeous here in Naples. I think it's 70.
Perfect.
It's a perfect day for this. So what else? We were talking about, you do some specialty training as well. One of which is, what did you call it? Diving?
Yeah, dock diving.
Dock diving. That's it. Dock diving.
So, you know, if your dog likes the water, we like to take advantage of that. You know, water is a lot of fun for dogs,
Especially in
and for us.
Naples.
Yeah.
I mean, where we got Florida water everywhere.
Definitely. You know, I do a lot of trick training, so I teach dogs, you know, I do things outside the box, you know, handstands, backing up onto things, you know, down, roll over. But Tony is definitely the dock diving expert.
Yeah.
So explain what that means. What is a dock diving
So-
training class like?
Well, dock diving is a sport where the dog runs out the dock and jumps in a pool of water, and they measure how far the dog goes, how fast the dog goes, and how high the dog goes.
Okay.
So the cool thing about dock diving is that any dog, you could have your couch potato dog become a world champion. It's just it's incredible. Dog has to like toys, has to like water, and then
So if your dog doesn't like water, they're not going to go for this just because you're training.
unless they
them.
really like toys, and then just goes in the water for the toy. But the other cool thing, and one of the bad things about it, is that you end up like us, and you travel all over the country, so your dog can run off a 40-foot dock and jump in the water, and you spend a lot of time doing that. But it is something that you and your dog can do together, which is great, and that's the main thing about it. The dogs love it, and we love it as handlers to see how excited the dogs do. All the dogs. So it's not just your dog you're rooting for everybody's dog. It's really great.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's see these guys do. Can Luna do some tricks?
Baxter's
She's still a
more-
baby,
yeah,
right?
She's just a baby, but you know, we're working on her handstand.
Oh, well, good, because you have to get that down by one.
Yeah.
I figure, right? You know, if
Totally.
you're 1 year old and you're not doing a handstand, you know.
Yeah.
This is Baxter. Baxter is, he just turned 8. He turned 8. He's a Christmas dog, so his birthday is
He's all
Christmas
excited. Is
morning.
this his favorite toy right here?
This is actually not his favorite toy,
Oh my gosh.
but he likes this, so back place just is go to a spot and stay, back, spread them. Spread them is just put your hands up, spread them. Sit,
There you go.
sit, big, down, yes. And then yes is his release, so then he gets his reward. So with Baxter's reward, we're using his toy as a reward.
Ah, okay.
Because he'll do anything for his toy.
Oh, nice. Look at that, guys. So if you guys have questions, please put them up here
Circle,
so that we can
legs.
get these guys to answer them for you.
Good, legs.
And like I said, they also have a facility.
Stick up.
Thanks.
Legs. Down.
And they also have a facility, which is in Bonita Springs. And let's see, over here, Luna's like, I want some attention too. Look how
Thanks.
pretty. Luna's got some beautiful blue
Thanks.
eyes.
Thanks. Good. Ready? Up. Yeah. Good
So
girl.
if you have a dog that is doing, what do they call those, like the dog shows? Would that training come in handy for the dog show? Is that where they...
For
But-
confirmation,
Back to place.
like if they do like best of
Best of,
breed?
yeah, I mean, I'm not into the dog shows, so I'm not quite sure how they work, but I've seen them do tricks and what have you. So if they came to you for training for a specific thing as that, you would be able to help them.
Yeah, obedience plays a part in every sport, every confirmation, everything that you can think of. You need some sort of obedience,
Yeah.
attention from your dog.
That's the main thing. It's like what it does is that it opens the door up to do other things with your dog. So maybe your dog doesn't like dock diving, but maybe he likes agility.
Okay.
Or maybe he likes frisbee.
Frisbee?
Or maybe he likes or she likes confirmation. Whatever it is, right? But the training, we teach you how to communicate better, and we teach the dog how to pay attention and learn.
Nice.
So if
nice.
you watch, Luna's paying attention to Paige,
Right?
and Baxter's paying attention to me. So that's what we condition. We want that attention, so that if they're not paying attention, it's really hard to teach a dog, or anybody for that matter. Right?
This is true, yes.
So-
My 10-year-old has that problem too.
So that's what we focus on and work on. And
So one of the things that I think I'm going to ask as a dog owner is, you can hear all these dogs that are around barking. Is there an easier way, a trick, some sort of command that we could work on to eliminate the barking? Like if you they're like, oh no, they're going to bark. No, I mean, these guys are quiet. They hear all these dogs barking around us,
Sure.
and so is there anything that they can specifically do to work
Well,
on that?
I mean, it depends on, you know, first of all, it depends on what they're barking about.
Okay.
Okay, so dogs communicate to us by barking. That's one of the ways they communicate with one another. So it depends on what they're barking about.
So my dog is talking to me then.
He's talking to you.
Okay,
yes.
so what is she saying now? Like, get me out here?
Well, yeah, she's saying, "Hey, Mom, I want to be out here playing with Baxter and Luna," is what she's saying. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with someone knocking on your door and the dog barking.
Of course.
What we teach is how to turn it off. So
Okay.
that we say, "Okay, I got it, thank you. Now I have it, so I want you to go to your place and be quiet."
So it's back to go to your place.
Yeah,
It's always
dogs-
about that place.
Yeah, they're protective. They're just protecting their area, and that's fine. But then we have to be able to turn them off and say, "Hey, we got it, thank you, and I need you to be quiet now."
Okay. So there we go. We got some questions. Sonia, do you have any questions up there? She's in Chicago where it's beautifully, covered in snow. Sonia, I just
Sorry.
want to throw this out to you. This is not snow. Okay, so I'm going to around and put you guys up. Hi guys. We're going to try and put you back on here while I talk a little bit to them, and you can see their little doggy friend. Look how attentive they are. Can you guys see that? Look at them. That is phenomenal. And it doesn't take that long. It's just really about you as the human
Right.
dedicating the time. Dedicating time. Now, what about if you wanted training for, you wanted it to be a support dog to take with you to, like, say you want to go on the plane
Sure.
or something to that effect? Do you do training for that as well?
Yeah, we do. But it all starts at the beginning, so we have to teach the dog how to learn and pay attention, and depending on what that person's need is for the dog. So if it's something that the dog needs more of a mobility thing, where I need the dog to pick up things.
Oh,
or
pick up
me
things.
up,
Right,
or
got
things
you.
like that. So if it's more of a mobility, or if the dog has, the person has diabetes or things like that, that can all be trained. Dogs are amazing that way.
They can smell things. Like we were talking before, and as many of you know, I lost my son a couple years ago, and my dog Lily, even before when I was pregnant with Sawyer, she was very, very attentive to me when I take a shower. I was like tripping over her getting out of the shower because she really would just stay there and be with me. And then after we lost my son, since then, anxiety, she can smell an anxiety, issue with me if I'm getting too nervous so it's really interesting. And she's not trained. I mean, in that sense, she's not trained to know those cues, and yet they pick it up. They know it.
They do. They're super
it's
intuitive
natural.
that way. Yeah.
It's intuitive. And actually this morning I was watching the Today Show. Do you guys watch the Today Show?
Here and there.
Okay, so this morning I'm watching the Today Show, and they were talking about intelligence IQ test for dogs. And it was really funny. What they did is they took a treat and they put it under 3 different solo cups and said, okay, here I am putting it under solo cup number 2. And, they saw where it went, and they were trying to rate how IQ heavy they were. And then, of course, there's also the towel trick where you put the towel over their face, I guess it is, and see how quickly they can take it off.
Right.
So, there's all kinds of things. But, I mean, most dogs have at least the ability to listen and understand you and sit and stay.
Yeah, absolutely. The main thing that we see is people aren't communicating properly with their dogs. So, and that's sometimes where you start seeing the frustration with the dogs, where the dogs are barking at you because you're not communicating properly in what the dog wants or what you're trying to tell the dog, and they don't understand. And that's where the frustration comes in. But if you can communicate properly with them by just giving them very simple, basic cues that they understand and mark that right behavior, then you start getting this.
I have to say, I had a Labrador, and she was quite a handful. I took her to obedience school, and we don't think she passed. They said they forgot to give us but we don't think she passed. We tried our hardest with Shelby. She was a good girl, but she just was her own free spirit. But they said that her biggest problem was she had separation anxiety. Is that something you hear about quite frequently, separation anxiety? Or how do you deal with something like that? That there may be, do you put them on Xanax? I don't know.
I mean, that's that just puts a Band-Aid on the problem.
Right,
so
exactly.
What we like to do is figure out why and address that issue. And every dog is different, every situation is different.
Right.
And that's why we do a free evaluation so that we can meet the owner and the dog and kind of figure out, there's no one solution for every dog. Every dog is different.
Just like every person.
Just like every person, every
Right.
kid. All kids can learn math. Myself, I had to learn it. I wasn't the fastest. I had to figure out a different way.
Find the way.
And
to
there was
make
those
it work
kids
for
that
you.
just knew math, and I didn't have that. But I learned math eventually.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the dogs. There's not one solution for every dog. Every dog is different, and what, right? See?
Baxter's like, I know you're talking about me.
Exactly.
Aren't they cute? Aren't they? So if you guys, hey Shelly the mermaid, I'm going out to see if you guys didn't know, we have an actual live mermaid in Naples,
Okay.
and I'm going to be interviewing her next week. So you guys are going to have to get out your sea siren questions, you know.
Cool.
So yeah, so we're going to go out and talk to her next week. So if people want to get in touch with you, the best place to find you is on, because they're on social media, guys. Social media. Facebook, you are the Upbeat K9, right? Just
Yep.
type it in, Upbeat K9. You can see the tag in my post today. You're also on Instagram. I love their Instagram stuff. They put up a lot of really cool videos showing what some of these dogs can do. Because you'll be blown away by some of the things that these dogs can do. Because, if my dog could do a handstand, I would be all over town in my pink beetle with a dog doing a handstand. That would just be the craziest part of the whole thing. Everybody would definitely think I was crazy at that point. So if you guys have any more questions, Cheryl McIntyre says you guys are awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right on.
But is there any other things that come up? Typically, the jumping up is a big thing. The dogs jumping up on you is always,
Yeah, common things are dogs pulling on a leash, jumping up when people come in, things like that are real common, and we work on those all the time.
Now, do you do anything, like we were talking with Baxter, because he has the collar around his neck, and what type of collar is it again?
It's an e-collar, so we use it as a way to communicate with him. So we've taught him when he feels that he knows I'm telling him something. Just like if I saw you somewhere and you weren't listening, I would tap you on your shoulder.
Right.
That tap would have you turn around and look at me, and then I could direct you on what I wanted to tell you, like hello or whatever it was.
Okay. So even at 8 years old, he still has that, just because it's a comfort?
No, it's not for his
No?
comfort, it's more for
For
mine.
your comfort.
Yeah, because, in environments that I can't control, the frisbee flies the wrong way, he runs out in the street, car's coming, I want to be able to say, hey, stop, I need
Right.
your attention, that kind of stuff.
And so it just communicates through vibrations around
Yeah,
his
it's the
neck?
vibration that he feels, and when he feels it, he knows I'm asking him something.
See, isn't that cool, guys? Check that out. So yeah, so that's definitely something I know. When with my dog, they have different types of collars that they use. So you obviously encourage that.
As again,
different
every
types
dog is different.
different,
Every dog is different, so it depends on. Baxter, let's go. Please.
Max
Every dog
is
is
checking
different,
things out.
so
Hey, Joanne, thanks for joining us.
we like to find the right tool for the right dog and the right owner. So
Okay.
if the dog is off leash a lot, then that might be a good option. But then there's food is a tool that we use all the time, rewards, different types of collars and leashes and things of that nature, different tools. So it's just have to find the right option for each owner and dog.
And what kind of signs does a dog give you? Like I know, for example, when I went out to Pucci and Katana, it's one of my favorite stores in town. They have some really fun stuff out there for your animals. When I took Lily out there to a dog party, I found that Lily was better unleashed.
Yeah.
She was fine in the store unleashed, but she was not comfortable. She was stressing herself out. What are some signs that maybe your dog is uncomfortable when you maybe have them out in public, or if there's somebody in your house that they're not comfortable with? What do they do? Do they bark, obviously? Panting? Is that something?
Panting is a good sign. Panting is some stress. Their ears, you have to watch their ears. Their ears are pinned back, the tail's underneath their leg. These are all different signs that your dog is under stress.
Okay.
A lot of that stress can sometimes come from the owner holding the leash, right?
Okay.
So the owner holding the leash is nervous and stressed out.
And the anxiety
That
it's like
goes
an
right
electrical
down,
cord.
and it basically gives the dog cues that, hey, I'm nervous, so you should be nervous, so let's all get nervous together. So that's why we teach our clients to be very calm. Okay, we don't ever have to raise our voice or yell at our dogs. We can just communicate, get their attention, tell them what you want, and keep all those things consistent. And then all that kind of just goes away.
Just goes away.
Just be
goes
cool.
away.
Just
Just be
calm
cool. Just relax. If my husband's watching this, when we take Lily out, just relax. I say that to him. Just relax. She'll be fine. But yeah, those are definitely cues. A lot of people don't. And when your dog is kind of stressed out, I know like even during like thunderstorms, Lily's fine with thunderstorms,
Yeah.
but a lot of dogs have anxiety with that, and they came out with that thunder
Thunder
jacket or something that you put on it kind of gives them a hug, and it basically holds them. What do you do when your dog's a little anxious and not sure how to handle that situation? Is there certain thing like petting them? Does that help bring them down to earth? Any suggestions there?
Petting can, but it also can. Basically, what we do is we give them something else to think about. Give them a job, something else to do, like play or sit. So, like any unwanted behaviors that they might do. Let's say the dog is jumping up. So we're going to say, off, don't do that. Do this instead.
So
Okay,
give them the other option.
Give them another
Give them
option.
the other option,
Don't
guys.
do that. Do this. Relax. Do that. And just kind of redirect. Get their attention. Redirect them to do something else more positive. And when they're doing the positive stuff, just reward that. Good. Good. Good.
Now,
Reward
there's not a lot of places that go out and do at-home training. There's
Yeah,
a few,
there's
but
a
I mean,
few,
you guys
yeah.
are, I mean, in Bonita, in the Naples area, and that's something that we want to talk about. They go all the way up from, what, Fort Myers, you said? Fort Myers, guys, up there, my Fort Myers, Southwest Florida friends, all the way down to Marco Island, right? And so they're always around the town. So it's definitely a place that you guys you're out and about, and that you're familiar with the community in itself.
Yes.
You know, and so like if I said to you, I want to teach my dog how to walk down Fifth Avenue, and she's not, going to strangle me or someone else on the way down the street, you would be able to relate and say, hey, I've been to Fifth Avenue. I know visually, I know what you're talking about. So this is great, so that people understand that there's a lot of options out there, that you would be comfortable with talking to them about.
Definitely.
So again, you have a website.
Yes. Yeah, we are www.theupbeatk9.com.
And it's a letter K and the number 9,
Yes.
correct?
And then
Number
on
9.
Facebook to find us, we're the Upbeat K9 Naples.
Upbeat K9. Yes, because in fact, if anybody up north is watching, because I know we've got some northerners up there, where are your sister offices?
We're in Boston and then also Rupert, Vermont.
Okay, so is it a franchise or is it all?
Yeah,
the
it's
same?
actually starting to be a franchise.
Oh,
Jesse
nice.
Dalton's up in Boston. He's
Nice.
a great trainer. He opened the Upbeat K9, and then we wanted to be a part of it.
Awesome. You see, guys? So that's
Hi,
what
Jesse. I know you're watching.
Hi, Jesse. It's nice to see you come to Naples. It's not snowing. Just have to keep throwing that in there. So, other than that, I mean, there's a lot of options here. So I want you guys to go and check them out on Facebook, check them out on Instagram, check out their website, because if you are going to adopt a dog, that was something that I also wanted to touch on, because as a realtor, I sell houses, and a lot of times, maybe your dog's a little nervous about going to a new house, finding the lay of the land at your new home. This would be a great option for you guys to come out and help them.
Definitely.
Or if you're just adopting, someone on here just said, hi, Karina, down in Brazil.
Hola.
We're all, I know, hola, señorita, how are you? But if you're adopting a dog and you're bringing the dog home for the first time, there can be some anxiety in that as well.
Definitely.
And so for you guys to come out and you can kind of do it together, and learn the different things of learn how to interact with your dog at home. Because that, I mean, like I said, when you're buying a house, you might not be worried about how the dog is going to, react to a new home or a new environment, whether they're new to it or you're new to it or together.
And especially snowbirds as well. A lot of people back at home, their dogs have all the acres to run. But here, they live in these gated communities and they have to be on leash.
Right.
Creates a lot of reactivity in the dogs. We help establish those good habits on the leash, so then they're not dealing with those problems.
So if you want to
when
go
they're
into a
in town.
gated community, you want to leave your 3 acres and you want to go to a gated community, these guys can help you adjust your dog to that new environment. So that's something, In fact, I did a story once about when I was pregnant with my daughter, who's now 14. So anyway, when I was worried about introducing the baby to the dog. And there's articles you can read. You could probably help someone adjust to that.
Oh,
One of the tips that they had given me when I was having the baby was have someone go home ahead of you, and that first cap that they put on the baby, let the dog smell it before it ever comes into the home. So, that way your dog's getting used to her smells. Because that's really what it is, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's the scent, knowing that there's a new scent in the
Definitely.
home.
You're helping it be more welcoming to the pack.
There
Because,
you go.
it's a new person and it's connected to you. So it
And
just makes it a lot more easy.
What if you, if talking about the pack, if your dog has, suddenly decided, not suddenly, but has grown up in the environment that they have mastered in their brain that they are the leader of the pack of the house.
Right.
Has that happened? I'm sure.
It happens a lot.
Every day we see that. Yeah.
So there's a way to break it. There's a way to change that behavior.
Yeah, through structure and training and things like that, we help the dog understand what their role is in the house. And what
That I'm the master.
Exactly.
Okay, just so you know that. I'm the master. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Pinky Knows Naples. You're going to check out the Upbeat K9, the letter K and the number 9. There's one in Naples on Facebook, right? On Naples and Facebook. On Instagram, it's just Upbeat K9 Naples, Upbeat K9 Naples. And as always, you can find me on Pinky Knows Naples on Facebook, Pinky Knows Naples on Instagram, and then of course I'm on Snapchat, Sue Benson Remax, just so you know. All right, guys, we will see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you need me, pinkladyof realestate.com. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.